be 2 chairs behind me. Isn't that crazy? Do you know why that is? Give me a second. Luke, get it now. And just like that, there are 2 people in the world.
My pants aren't visible, that's lucky. I'm wearing pants.
He is wearing pants, I promise. I would like to welcome my big brother and associate and legal guardian and... yeah.
That's better.
This is Luke.
Hi.
Clap for it. I know.
Just adjusting my seat to be taller than you.
Oh. Stand up.
Yeah, maybe you should be standing.
So, today's video is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Isn't that crazy? Ha! Yeah, so, like I said in this video, I'll say it again now. Spoiler alert. Before you go having a go at me for spoiling the film. This is going to be part 2, and my brother is here. In case you didn't
keep hitting me.
I also keep on introducing you.
Is that to emphasise the fact that I'm here?
Yeah.
He's here.
Yeah, without further ado. Adieu.
Sorry, no.
This is how it's going to go. I'm going to ask him questions. He is going to
answer them backwards to you, away from the camera.
Like professionals do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, this camera is wonky. Can I fix it, please?
That's up to you.
So, yes.
Take 2, because Oliver said some silly things.
Luke said some silly things.
He gave some spoilers. I got angry because they were full spoilers, and I'm not in the mood for full spoilers at this point.
Let's put this behind us.
Spoiling the film is fine, but you spoiled the end of the review at the beginning of the review. Let's
put this behind
bad
us.
reviewing.
That's because you couldn't just...
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
So,
what did you think of the characters?
oh, that's a surprising question.
Yeah. So let's start with Quill. Just made that up. Peter Quill.
Peter Felicity Quill.
What did you think of his character from the beginning to the end?
So, we see the film is very much based on him. So the plot of the film in general is about his father and him finding out who his father is. So if you remember from Guardians 1, there was there's a reference where it says that Peter Quill's father came from the stars and he was a shining angel person, which we took to mean he's an alien. In this one, it turns out he is Ego the Living Planet. Ego is an ancient celestial. He gradually, over many, many millions and billions of years, became a planet, and the planet is capable of generating kind of an avatar, and his avatar looks like Kurt Russell. So I don't think Star-Lord has as much... I think he had more interesting kind of moments in the...
First one?
Yeah. Like, mostly because of the dancing stuff, like at the end when he's...
Yeah, he wasn't as... I think he wasn't as character... Like, he didn't have as much of a personality in this one. It was more...
Yeah, I kind of agree, but I think it kind of paid off more...
Because Groot took his place.
No, because his arc was very... His character had a very interesting journey in this story, so there was like the whole thing about meeting his father. I wasn't a huge fan of the thing where it turned out that Ego gave his mum the brain cancer. I don't think that would...
Yeah,
I didn't think that was necessary.
I was like, that wasn't necessary. He could have
like,
just strangled her or killed her or something. He didn't need to implant a tumour in her brain.
No, I mean in the sense of the fact that if the story is she died of cancer, then I don't think you really need to then add in a villain who says, yeah, I gave her that cancer. Like,
yeah, I was just like,
it's kind of a separate, you know.
You could have just
like, you can have him do something else dickish. You can just have him be, like...
Have him kick her in the balls or something. Surely it's bad enough that he's killed tons of his kids.
Yeah. He's trying to build this relationship with them, like, yeah, you're my son, when in fact he's had millions of sons over millions of years, and they haven't filled...
He's immortal, by the way. Yeah, a lot of this probably doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and they haven't filled the purpose that... Yeah, probably should have done plot first, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
So, Ego the Living Planet, turns out that his plan across millions of years has been go to planets in the avatar form of Kurt Russell and leave little things there that like it's kind of a little bit of him,
like an energy source.
Yeah, just like a little thing, and that further down the line he can activate them all, and they all spread out and produce this thing which basically engulfs the planet and turns it into an extension of him. So that instead of being Ego the Living Planet, he's then Ego, a galaxy full of planets. He sees that as his purpose in life. Yeah, I think Star-Lord gets a lot of emotional payoff. So like he doesn't have as many funny moments, which is kind of what we would have expected from him based on the first one.
But
he has a lot of kind of emotional stuff with the fact that you can see him dealing with the fact of first off meeting his father, who he's spent 34 years not knowing, and then the kind of thing of him learning to kind of harness the energy. So his father, as a celestial, has this energy that he can control as kind of a superpower. and it was interesting seeing Star-Lord try and kind of experiment with that, and yeah, that was nice. What?
This
is your show.
Sorry, yeah. Silence, boy, for a few seconds. Sorry, the lighting's starting to get very bad, and I was trying to use natural lighting.
We could just hurry up.
Didn't help at all.
No, hang on, no, that's making things worse.
So, that works. Oh, I just fell
it?
over. Yeah, no, it looks like it's working. Your face is
If
a
I
bit...
face this way, then it's...
Your face is a bit glazed up, but that's fine.
Pardon me.
Yeah, I'll edit it.
Keep that in there.
I have it.
Star-Lord.
Indeed,
Good.
yeah.
Rewarding arc.
This is more
Sorry.
a sort of... so, were there any religious themes or connections?
Probably, but if there were, they weren't as prominent as in the first one, where the bad guy is literally a religious terrorist.
That was the answer I was looking for. Next question.
Yeah. Okay.
What did you think the view of morality? As in, like, do you think they made the right moral decisions? And
I think they explored it in an interesting way. So Gamora, we kind of got more of the backstory of her and Nebula, and the fact that Nebula, being Thanos' daughter, got punished every time Gamora outdid her at a task that Thanos sent them to do.
Which was pretty much every time.
Yeah, Gamora always won, and Gamora spent the entire of her life allowing that to happen and still deliberately beating Nebula, which kind of makes it...
Kind of makes her a terrible human being.
Yeah, I mean, it's like our mate who was there who saw it with us. Yeah, should we name him?
Yeah, sure.
Edward. Yeah, he mentioned that, like, it kind of like I initially thought that having Gamora like that kind of makes her very unsympathetic as a character, but what Ed kind of mentioned was that all happened when she was the galaxy's deadliest assassin.
Yeah, and to be fair, she admitted to being a bad person.
And that's kind of part of the point
of
the point of her journey is that through joining the Guardians and kind of learning what it means to be part of a group like that, and like she's not an entirely good character.
Protecting the universe.
There is moral ambiguity there, but also she is not the same person she was when she was doing those things, and her and Nebula now seem to be on much better terms.
Yeah.
Pew, 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 pew.
To what extent did it fit your expectations? I don't know.
I think when I first watched it, I was expecting something more in tone, like more similar in tone to the first one.
Indeed,
this one kind of felt dark. Drax had a lot of funny moments.
Wait, I thought. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Drax had so many.
So in the time that Drax has been working with the Guardians, he's apparently been working on. In the first one, most of the comedy from him came from the fact that he had no understanding of what anyone.
Yeah.
Of anything non-literal. Like someone says metaphors go over your head, and he says nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too good. I would catch them. In this one, he's kind of loosened up a bit, which like I like. I mean, I'm gonna miss the old Drax, but this one is there's a lot of potential for.
Can we just take a minute to? Well, not a minute. Can we just take a few seconds to honour our old Drax?
No. Yeah, he's still funny now, but now he lets out lots of laughter, and
just a demonstration of laughter for those that
I think what was good was the fact that they've managed to develop him, but they also kept so he is kind of more relatable as a character, but they've also kept that element of like the same element, so they've not just undone the stuff they did in the first one.
Also, Rocket, he broke my heart when he was gonna leave Quill. He was like, no, we have to do what's right. It's either save the world or save Quill. And he chose saving the world? What? And then he closed the door.
That's the right answer.
No! Oh, wait, no, Quill survived anyway. Because Yondu...
Yep, Yondu, the guy who theoretically kidnapped Quill and made him a...
bad guy. Yeah.
Turns out the actual reason that he kidnapped him was that he had been hired to deliver him to his dad, Ego, but he found out what Ego had been doing with all the kids.
And Ego was bad. And Yondu turned out he actually wanted to protect Quill. Oh no, he goes. Like he goes. He may be your dad, but he ain't your daddy. And it's like that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Not logically.
Yeah, and then Yondu uses. They have a lot of technology. You know, like Star-Lord's mask, which you can kind of press it and it just appears over his face. They have similar things like that for spacesuits, where you get a pack and slap it on your back, and the spacesuit kind of. Like a force field net appears around you, and it functions as a spacesuit.
And basically, Yondu only had one of them. He had one spacesuit and one jetpack.
Yeah.
So he was wearing the jetpack. No, I can't say it. I'm gonna cry.
Okay, so when Quill's stuck down in the core of Ego the Living Planet, don't ask why they're there, they're trying to blow him up. You don't need to ask, I just explained it. And just as you think he's going to get crushed by collapsing rock because he's killed Ego, he's blown up the thing, Ego's dying, and the other Guardians are like on the surface of the planet about to fly away because they don't think there's any way they can save him. Yondu flies down with his jetpack, grabs Quill, slaps the spacesuit thing on him and flies him up out into orbit, gets him off of the planet before it's destroyed.
Yeah.
And then
sacrifices himself, dies, did it all for nothing.
And then Yondu freezes slowly to death.
Rest in peace, Yondu.
Are there any other characters we should talk about?
Nah, there were only two.
Mantis.
Mantis, who's that? Oh yeah.
Mantis is the one with the things.
With
yeah.
the Mantis thing.
She's fun. She has a good relationship with Drax. That's
I like
interesting because
yeah.
she's quite naive as well, and kind of doesn't understand things because she was raised on Ego, on his planet.
By him. So.
Yeah, so she doesn't really understand social interaction. In a similar way to how Drax doesn't. But she's nicer. So she's kind of the pleasant version of him. I think it's Mantis is kind of at the front of the screen and Drax is behind her and he's holding baby Groot. Yeah, no, she says it's beautiful. Like looking at, is it the planet exploding? Oh no, that's the one. Yeah. It's Yondu's funeral when they incinerate him and release the ashes into space.
This is a beautiful funeral.
Yeah, she's looking at, and Sylvester Stallone turned up to the funeral and then he went and got together with some other Guardians of the Galaxy who I don't think we're going to see again because Sylvester Stallone would not become the lead player in a Marvel franchise. If he does, then I will eat my hat. That paper mache one.
Okay.
So yeah, Mantis is cool, and that shot with her, Drax and Groot looked kind of like a family thing. That was quite sweet because we know that Drax did have a family. He had a wife and a daughter way back in the day, and they were killed by Thanos.
Happy days.
So that was quite a nice shot to see him.
And may I ask you one more question?
Yes. That's not a question.
No, it wasn't. I love working with you. Shake my hand, babes.
I'm not touching you.
The last question. What did you rate the film out of 10, brother?
Let's see. I'm going to do my patented 1 to 10 system. So starting off 5. What did I like?
Right now it's 5 out of 10. Let Luke go.
Star-Lord gets a point, so 6. Gamora gets a point. Groot gets a point. Drax gets a point. Mantis gets a point. Ego gets a point. So we're on 11. Lose a point for the dialogue.
Okay.
Because I think there was some of the dialogue.
Lose a point for the animation. Too much.
As in CGI.
Yeah. So we're on 10, by the way.
I guess I could probably go for that. Yeah.
Okay. Take one down.
So
we're on 9.
Rocket. I want to take one off for Rocket as well because I liked a lot of the stuff they did with him, but I thought he had a few lines that were not. Like in the first film, they set him up with a lot of good stuff, and in this one, it wasn't as good. They kind of used him as a vehicle to say some stupid stuff that didn't really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're on 8.
Who else is there? Yondu gets one, I guess. Original Guardians team. That was a good reference. I like that.
The Watchers thing with Stan.
This Stan Lee cameo basically, I don't want to say it confirms it, but the theory as to why Stan Lee turns up in every Marvel film is that he is one of the Watchers. The Watchers are a race of aliens who exist around the universe, and they just observe other species. And it kind of makes sense that Stan Lee would turn up, like that Stan Lee is the Watcher for the Earth, and he's just kind of there. He goes around the Earth and turns up whenever interesting things are happening so he can record them, which would explain why he always turns up whenever superhero things are happening. And in the Stan Lee cutscene for this one, he was there sitting with the Watchers, having a conversation with them about some things that he's seen. I'm willing to give a point for that because that was
Thank
good.
you.
That was good for confirming.
So 11 out of 10 right now, folks. We just stick it at 11 out of 10.
Can we stick it at 11 out of 10? Give it a 10. Okay, this film gets 10 out of 10.
I would also give it a 10 out of 10.
But I want to clarify that 10 out of 10 is not the maximum.
Well, it is. Logically.
You know, it was a very good film.
Thank you for joining me in this, Luke. This has been an Oban production. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and feel free to leave some criticism below.
Encourage people on YouTube to leave unpleasant things.
Sorry. Thank you for watching.